YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back. In today's video, I got a lot of fantasy steals for you guys that you can pick up late in your drafts. Maybe some of these guys will be available through waivers as well. All running backs here. I think the group of running backs is pretty good, especially these younger guys, some of the steals you can get late. So we're going to go over all of them and where their average draft position is. Right before we get started, we do have other fantasy videos on the channel, plenty more to come. Want to do some mock drafts. We're going to do a live stream of the Goat House Fantasy Football League, and you guys can join that as well. Check out the links in the description. Pretty popular there. Only a few spots open in the Fantasy League, Pick'ems League, and the Discord chat is available. Click the link in the description to check those out. Subscriber goals at 40K by the end of this year. Please help us out by subscribing. We'll have full coverage for the NFL season. Cannot wait. We have updated recaps, power rankings, predictions, score predictions, all of it. We got you covered. So hopefully you can join us for that. Click that like button. Check out our Twitter as you see at the top right. Link in the description for that as well. Let's talk about these running backs that are steals. We did a running back group that I just thought those were must-have guys, and now these are more of the deep sleepers and the steals. So first, let's talk about Tony Pollard. A pretty obvious one here, and if Zeke is, holding out still by the time you're draft, I like to draft, pretty late. I'm in 2 leagues. Preseason week 3 by the end of it, that's like the earliest I want to draft. But if Zeke is still holding out and you're one of those late drafts, then Tony Pollard's really not going to be a deep sleeper anymore. Because he may be the starting running back. But if Zeke is back, I still like him, which I expect Zeke can't just hold out. He's going to want to play, I feel like. But you never know with those running backs. But I still like Pollard even if Zeke's playing because he was a former receiver. They'll use him in the slot a lot. They can use him and Zeke at the same time. So I do like Tony Pollard. I like his game. And he'll only get better over time. Average draft position right now is at 180. But if Zeke continues to hold out, I expect that to... definitely to be picked earlier in average drafts there. Next running back I want to talk about is another rookie, Devon Singletary. Quite a few rookies on here. Devon Singletary, the Buffalo Bills, former Florida Atlantic running back, and I like him as a receiving threat too. Another guy they can put in the slot, and LaShawn McCoy seems like he can't really finish the season, or he can't play all 16 games. Singletary looked good, only one preseason game, but he looked pretty good. Obviously, they're high on him, so he will play even if McCoy's in there. But I think there'll be weeks where Singletary carries he gets the load, and he'll maybe be the starter some weeks. Average draft position at 135 right now. Definitely a guy to look into in the later rounds there. Next up, Ito Smith, second-year guy for the Falcons. We saw him get reps last year when it was him and Tevin Coleman. Well, Freeman's back. Tevin Coleman's gone, obviously. So it's Freeman and Ito Smith. I like Smith. They're going to use him. Even though he's a smaller back, they like him in the goal line a lot. And, they used him quite a bit last year, so they're definitely trying to develop him by playing him more this year. And Freeman, 2 things. Hate to say it, but he could get hurt again. The chances are higher than most other running backs or players. And they don't want to overdo it. So if they don't want him to get hurt, they're not going to overdo him. They're going to save him for the playoffs, which they think they're a playoff team, which I would agree. And so they'll use Ito Smith as much as they can to take the load off of Devontae Freeman there to kind of save him a little bit. So Smith will be used. He'll get some touchdowns. Average draft position is 148 at the moment. I think that's pretty surprising. I think it should be, especially because he may be the starting running back for the Falcons for most of the year. That pretty good position to draft him. That's a pretty good steal right there. Next running back, another rookie, Alexander Madison of the Minnesota Vikings. He came in. He's pretty much taken Latavius Murray's role, who played a pretty big role for the Vikings last year, played pretty well. He may not put the same numbers up as Murray because they're expecting Cook to stay healthy this year. But again, Dalvin Cook could be hurt again. He's hurt the last 2 years. Last year, I don't think it was anything serious, and they were kind of just playing it safe. But Madison, they like a lot. They really gave him the ball a lot on the ground and really through the air, some small passes there out of the backfield. So they like Madison a lot. They already used him in the preseason games, what I mean. So he will be the running back number 2. If Cook goes down, which is realistic, he is their number 1 running back. But even if Cook is in, he will get the ball. He'll be short yardage. He'll be goal line, so he'll get his touches there. He'll get the touchdowns. So I do like Alexander Madison as well. Next running back, Duke Johnson, who was traded from the Browns to the Texans. The Texans traded a 4th rounder, which may end up as a 3rd rounder. So the Texans knew they needed a running back, and they think highly of Duke Johnson, really, because, they traded a pretty good pick for him, even if it's a fourth, the latest. And they will use him running the ball and catch the ball out of the backfield. They can actually use him at the same time as Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller is kind of, still a good back, but slowly declining over the last couple of years, so maybe another step in that direction, even though it's not major decline. But Duke Johnson, I think he's pretty fresh-legged. Got some fresh legs, hasn't really been used all that much in his career, and he can play too. So I think they'll use him quite a bit as the season goes on. If you have him, don't be alarmed if early on he doesn't not doing too much. I think it could start to pick up, before mid, but as you get to mid to late season, definitely starting to pick it up for sure. Maybe the first couple weeks it won't. I don't think will give you an answer on how he'll be. But again, they liked Foreman when they drafted him, but they didn't really like his work ethic and injury wise. So they brought Duke Johnson. They cut him and brought Duke Johnson in for a reason. So I think they like him, and we'll see. But Lamar Miller has his weeks where he's out too. So I like Duke Johnson around 139. Justin Jackson. This one really depends on Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon, I think, wants to play, still working out like he's going to play. So I think he comes back, but you never know. Maybe they'll trade him. Maybe they won't give him his contract. We'll see. But if Melvin Gordon is out, Justin Jackson is a must-have for sure. Eckler is the main guy, but Justin Jackson's kind of the stronger runner in between the tackles. Maybe the Melvin Gordon situation is tricky because I don't know if the Chargers really know if they want to sign him for that money, because they don't really 100% know yet if Eckler and Justin Jackson can be the guys, which they definitely could be. So very interesting. But Justin Jackson, I like his game. I think he's very capable, but limited touches if Melvin Gordon's playing. Eckler, on the other hand, who was in the other video, I like him either way if Gordon is playing or not, because I think he's the go-to guy if he's not, and if he is. If Gordon is back, Eckler is still used on passing downs. Next running back is C.J. Anderson, who had a very good end of the season with the L.A. Rams. Very impressive down the stretch in the playoffs. The Lions like what they saw. I heard a couple teams were fighting over him, actually. So the Lions get him, and they lost Blunt, and that's the same type of running back, which Anderson looked better, based off the end of the season last year. So he will get the touches inside the red zone. Pretty much, I think, anywhere on the field. I know Kerryon Johnson's the go-to guy there, but they also got rid of Theo Riddick. So, yeah, I know totally different type of running back, but that increases touches for Kerryon Johnson and C.J. Anderson there. So definitely could be a sleeper. I think he'll get his touches in the red zone, which can mean touchdowns. Next guy, Malcolm Brown. So C.J. Anderson was the guy in L.A. The reason the Rams got C.J. Anderson is because Malcolm Brown was hurt, and they liked Malcolm Brown a lot. So he is back. Gurley's going to get limited touches. I do like Darrell Henderson a little better. They drafted him in the second round for a reason, but Darrell Henderson's a different type of back than Gurley and Brown. So if Gurley is out, they really evenly use Brown and Henderson. Brown is basically Gurley's backup. Henderson's almost like a different running back. It's today's style. There's basically two different types of running backs. So if Gurley is out, Malcolm Brown could be big time. But I don't really expect him to be out. I just expected him to be, limited. A lot more limited than he was last year. I'm trying to kind of avoid Todd Gurley a bit there. I think they're going to use him later, opposite of last year. And then a deep sleeper, a big-time deep sleeper, and maybe you can get on waivers, see the average draft position there, Dontrelle Hilliard, the Browns back. And I know they have Nick Chubb, and I know they're going to get Kareem Hunt back, but this isn't that type of running back. This is that receiving type running back, and it makes sense because you look at the preseason game, he was great catching the ball from Baker. You can't take away too much from that, but I'm really impressed at his route running, his ability to get open, natural hands. And they linked up. It was good chemistry there. But mainly, they got rid of Duke Johnson, who was more of their receiving back, because they have other backs, but because they have a guy that can fill that role, maybe just as good. Hilliard's a really good receiving back. Actually running the ball. They'll let Nick Chubb do that at first, and then Kareem Hunt can help it as well. Kareem Hunt can catch the ball too, but Hilliard could be used at the same time as those backs. They can put him in the slot. They can run both out of the backfield. So it is a deep, deep sleeper to keep an eye on for. Maybe over time if you need to pick somebody up. I don't know if anybody really draft this guy. unless something crazy is happening in the draft. But that's going to do it for all my deep sleepers for the running back. Some of these guys aren't too deep. They'll definitely get drafted. The guys at the top, I kind of went in order there. A lot of good rookies. Rookies are usually risky, but kind of feeling them. I think they landed in the right spot. It's really about where they landed, which team. And it seems like in the past, the running backs can kind of getting screwed over where they go. But I really like the situations. Some of these, Devon Singletary learning from LaShawn McCoy is great. And he's going to get his reps because McCoy not getting as many reps as he used to. Ito Smith's in his second year. Madison, with that new Kubiak offense, who's a genius running the ball and kind of taking Latavius Murray's role. I think that's a perfect fit. So it just makes sense there. So let me know your guys' thoughts. If you think I missed on any guy, let me know in the comments. We'll do some mock drafts. Again, we'll be live with the Goat House's fantasy draft for our league, and you can join that by looking at the link in the description. Almost full, so check it out. Much appreciate that. Appreciate you for joining us in this video, and plenty more to come. Full coverage in season for the NFL. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.